Hey guys, Torque17 here, bringing you my YouTube series System Guide, where I will do a brief overview of a system and then detail what sort of activities you, the citizens, can do there. The Nyx system. Nyx was discovered in 2582 at the height of the newly formed UEE's territorial expansion. The system has 3 planets and an asteroid field, all of which have very little to offer anyone traveling here. What's really interesting about the system is it's located directly on the border of a dark nebula. This nebula enshrouds all the planets in the system, hampers visibility, but what's really key here is it significantly limits scanner use. We'll talk more about that later. It was first charted by Carla Larry, who didn't have much interest in the system. She was actually quoted as saying, "It lacked significant mineral deposits or a logical reason to apply the expense of terraformation." More recently, in the last 200 years, Nyx has gained value for being a waypoint in the Castor system to Stanton system cargo run. A large amount of cargo passes through the system daily now, so this will obviously promote small-scale piracy because of the nebula's qualities. Travelers are warned not to veer off standard space lines without significant protection. So let's take a closer look at the system and see where we can make some UEC. Nyx 1 is a coreless hot world. When it was discovered, it was noted that there were high-grade metals beneath the planet's surface. As soon as this was found, Gold Horizon came into the system and mined the planet clean within 50 years. All material was sent to Killian for the Empire's war efforts. By 2630, the planet was rendered permanently useless and no human habitation remained. Nyx 2 is a smoggy, desolate world just inside the green band in the system. Once considered a candidate for terraforming, it was actually concluded that it could be, but the cost would be so high for a planet that has such little value. Essentially, the planet has no minerals, no gases to mine, nothing. So basically, the only thing that the planet would have to offer is a base hidden by that nebula in the system. EVA on the planet is also lethal. Even if you're in a full suit, the high-pressure atmosphere makes it impossible to move. So essentially, the system has no potential profit value or landing zones. There's a large asteroid belt just inside the frost line in Nyx. This field has no valuable minerals, but paired with the nebula, it's a perfect place to hide. An unknown number of settlements have been made in the area, all of which need to import essential survival goods. The major settlement in the field is known as Delamar, which, as we speak, is being built by the art team in Austin. It is the largest asteroid in the system, the size of a planetoid. The system was formed during the Messer area and remains a political hotbed for radicals and anti-UEE groups. Given the ability to hide in the system, there's a constant fight between the outright criminals and the political radicals, as they feel the criminal presence undermines their message. Delamar is free to be visited by anyone, but they are very cautious here with all their visitors, as they feel a UEE raid is on the brink at all times. Little do they know, actually, the UEE has no intentions of removing the station, as it's too well hidden, and they don't really see it as a threat. The people that live here are looked at people that just protest for the sake of protesting with no real movement behind them. Merchants and miners. For merchants, the only things that sell here are essential survival goods. Things like foodstuffs, oxygen, and even some luxury goods are in high demand. Not much to purchase here for merchants that like to stay on the UEE's good side. We'll talk about potential buys for smugglers in a little bit. For miners, there's absolutely nothing here for you. The field has no minerals to offer, and there's no demand to sell minerals at any of the settlements either. For smugglers and pirates, believe it or not, there really isn't that much to offer for you here either. Given the criminal nature in the system, there obviously has to be some sort of a black market. So for smugglers, if you have a system that's in need for narcotics, you can get them on the cheap at Delamar Station. In terms of selling, there really is no black market demand here. For pirates, this is a great staging area for raids on cargo vessels moving to and from the Stanton system. You can also raid traders bringing in essentials to the system and sell them on your own if you like, but you would likely get some resistance from the locals. Mercenaries. Given the nebula in the system, if someone has a bounty in the area, there's a good chance you'll find them here. The political radicals may even be putting out missions to pick up the most notorious offenders on the station. So do check the boards and you might find some work in Nyx. Salvagers. There's not much here for you either. The system's fields are easy to navigate, so there's really no ships to claim, and parts are really not in demand at Delamar Station either. Lastly, we come across Nix 3. It's located very far from the sun's light. It is an ice giant made up of frozen water and ammonia vapor. It is not a candidate for terraformation and contains no valuable minerals worth extracting. Alright everyone, that's it for this week's system guide. I do want to make a note about these guides in the future. It is the first week of May 2015, and it was said by a dev this week that the star map was released prematurely. So what they're going to be doing is taking certain systems and moving them all over the map. So we are not kind of aware of what jump points are going to go to where until they want us to know. So some of this information that's in the jump points and the system guides on the Star Citizen page that I'm taking a lot of this information from may not be correct in the future because they might be moving things around. So take some of this information for a grain of salt and kind of enjoy it. If anything changes, I will update each system in the future. So guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.